difference there at center?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you got to credit the Minnesota Vikings. They had a good game plan. They executed it. They ran the ball well against us. They threw some passes in the tight windows, made some good plays. They just played really well. From our standpoint, I just felt like the guys, I don't know if it's first game jitters, a little nervous, trying not to make a mistake, but there were some very, very basic plays, like day one plays that we work on, that we got hit in the game early. Just gap control issues, guys fitting properly, executing the coverage. So we can definitely be better. But to me, we just made some mistakes that we normally don't make.
What was the deal on the back-to-back 20-yard runs?
It was just gap control. The first run, they were in a wing set, and I think Chubb was a defensive end. He controls the D gap. He knocked the guy back, and he was winning, but he didn't fall back into the gap. And Darian Stewart came down. He had the outside gap, but he could have fixed it. So it's little things like that normally we do well that we didn't execute. And then the second run, it was just a normal lead week. I mean, we were gapped out 8-man front, and Wolf knocked the guy back 4 yards and just created a hole. So it's hard to tell him not to do it, but he just has to, when he's doing that, has to get off, fall back inside, and Brandon has to leverage the ball. So again, it's simple runs we normally knock out. We just didn't execute on those two plays.
Isaac Yiadom kind of got picked on a little bit early and often, kind of expected for a rookie in that first preseason game. How can he improve going into the second game?
Oh, I tell you what, I'm excited. He went against one of the better receivers in the league, Diggs, and he was all over him. At the line of scrimmage, he was getting hands on him on the back shoulder fade. It's just a reaction play. And our whole mindset is we want to eliminate 9 routes and react to everything else. So I'd rather him learn how to play a back shoulder than learn how to defend a 9. So very promising first game for him, and he'll continue to get better.
How did you think Chubb bounced back from that gap control issue? He knifed in and got the stop on Murray at the second goal.
Oh, yeah, that was a great play. The thing with Bradley, and I talked to him, he was really kind of a little nervous, afraid to make a mistake. And I was like, hey, man, you got to cut it loose. Don't worry about the mistakes. We'll fix the mistakes. You just play hard. So he was a little cautious earlier. And then after he got settled down, later on in the game, I thought he played very well.
How long does that take for the rookies to get those jitters? Is this first preseason game, or will that come back?
I don't know. You know what I mean? They just have to feel comfortable. And that's the thing I tell them. It's like we're practicing against another color jersey. The same runs, a lead that we defend against our offense is the lead we defend against somebody else. It's not like they create a new blocking scheme. So just go out there and play football and read your keys.
What have you seen from Tremaine Brock since he got back out here?
He looks good. They've been rehabbing him hard. He's not all the way back, but he is taking some reps in practice. It'll be good to get him back out there. He adds a veteran guy to our secondary. And Yiadom stepped in and done a good job so far, but he gives us a lot more depth.
With Chubb, I know you want him both down at end and up at linebacker. Is there one that you've noticed that he's more comfortable with?
I tell you what, with Chubb, it's really amazing because we're putting a lot on this plate because there's some things we can do package-wise, and that's what we're working on in training camp. So there's some things that we're doing in practice that we're not showing in the game. But the thing with him, he does it with poise. He makes it look easy. He never panics. So I know he can handle it. We just have to make sure we don't put too much on him as a young guy.
What was your reaction to getting A.J. Johnson, and how long do you think it'll take for him to get up to speed and be able to participate?
Yeah, it's going to take some time. I had a very good meeting with him when he came in yesterday. The one thing in having a conversation with him that I noticed right away, he is extremely smart. He understands football. He's chomping at the bit to get back involved in it. So I'm very excited, but we have to be patient with him, teach him the defense, work some service squad, and just see how he develops.
Well, it seems like Will Parks has a huge role in this defense all over the field. What type of step has he taken from last year to this year?
He's taken a big step. With all the young players on your team, they usually get better the next year as they gain experience. Like there's things that you can tell them that's going to happen, but until they go through it, they're not going to realize it. Just like I talk to my son or my daughter. They got to make those mistakes and learn from them. It's the same thing with Will. And he's gotten a little better each year he's been here. I thought he played a really good game. He got banged up a little bit towards the end, but he improved from where he was at last year.
Vaughn said on the TV broadcast during the game that he got a call from upstairs right beforehand that he wasn't going to play. Were you involved in some of those conversations, and what was sort of the decision-making?
Yeah, that's above my pay grade. So you know who made that call. So I'm all in.
When did you find out that he wasn't going to play?
Pregame.
Did it catch you off guard a little bit?
Nope. I already knew that.
Have you been told about his status for this weekend?
Not yet, but I think he's going to play this week.
Shamarko, ready to go since he just was playing with the Colts, or you still got to break him in a little bit?
Yeah, you still have to break him in because he has to learn the defense. He played in some similar concepts, but just in terms of our terminology, it's going to take him a little time to pick that up, but I think he will be involved in special teams. I mean, he's a very strong, fast, powerful guy. I know he was at Pittsburgh for a while before he went to Indy, but it was a good pickup for us.
Good. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, man.